There's this moment where you realize your coworker thinks everything is a conspiracy. The election, the pandemic, even the office coffee machine breaking. You're like, sometimes things just malfunction. They're like, wake up. They want you to think that. You see coincidence. They see coordinated evil. Why does the same chaotic world look random to some people and suspiciously intentional to others? Here's what's actually happening. Believing in conspiracies isn't about being gullible or unintelligent. It's about personality traits, emotional needs, and how your brain processes uncertainty. A recent American Psychological Association review examined 52 different variables across hundreds of studies and found conspiracy belief is incredibly complex. It can't be reduced to one single factor. First, let's talk about what makes someone more likely to believe. Research shows certain personality traits consistently correlate with conspiracy thinking. The biggest ones? A tendency to perceive threat and danger everywhere, having unusual beliefs, relying heavily on intuition over evidence, and being antagonistic or feeling superior. Imagine someone who constantly feels the world is unsafe. Every news story confirms their suspicion that powerful people are plotting against them. Their brain is pattern-seeking on overdrive, and conspiracies provide those patterns. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Humans have always been conspiracy-minded. Research tracking the evolutionary roots of these beliefs found they go back to early civilizations. Back then, watching out for powerful groups that could harm your community was actually adaptive. It kept you alive. But as societies became more integrated, this trait became less useful. Yet the inclination that it's all an inside job still persists. Here's the twist. We're exposed to way more conspiracy theories today thanks to social media and 24-hour news cycles. But despite increased exposure, modern humans aren't actually more prone to falling for them than previous generations. We're just more aware of these ideas. What's changed is visibility, not vulnerability. Now, let's break down what drives conspiracy belief. Psychologist Shauna Bowes explains that most conspiracies involve a powerful group of elites doing something in secret to harm the common good, so politics is a natural breeding ground. But not all conspiracies are explicitly political. Take the moon landing hoax theory. It doesn't directly involve politicians, but it still implicates people in power by suggesting intentional mass deception. The theme is always the same. Someone is hiding the truth from you. Here's the problem. Conspiracy theories promise answers, but often create more distress. Research suggests people might turn to conspiracies to alleviate anxiety, but after accepting the theory, they actually feel more anxious. It's a cycle. You feel powerless, so you search for explanations. The conspiracy gives you one. But now you believe the system is rigged, which makes you feel even more powerless. So how do you talk to someone who believes in conspiracies? Bowes suggests approaching them the way you'd approach someone with psychotic delusions. When someone hallucinates, the worst thing you can do is say, "You're wrong, that's not real," because it feels very real to them. Similarly, with conspiracy believers, don't immediately dismiss their fears. Validate the emotional experience without agreeing with the content. Ask compassionate questions like, "That must be frightening. How is that affecting you?" Approach with curiosity, not judgment. Now, here's something important. Not all conspiracy theories are created equal. Some sound completely ridiculous, like secret bunkers in the Denver airport. Others, like the widespread belief that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, can be pretty convincing. Bowes emphasizes that every one of us has a slight susceptibility to believing something that probably isn't true. Most of us believe in at least one conspiracy theory, even if we don't realize it. Here's the bottom line. Conspiracy thinking isn't a psychological disorder. It's a complex interplay of personality traits, evolutionary wiring, and emotional needs. Some people are more prone to it based on how they perceive threat, how much they trust their intuition, and how alienated they feel. But understanding these patterns helps us approach conspiracy believers with empathy instead of frustration. And it reminds us that we're all vulnerable to believing comforting stories when the world feels chaotic.